People say ambition disappears when you leave home. I don't think it does. If anything, ambition is what gets you to leave in the first place. But here's what actually happens, and nobody says this out loud. When you move countries, your entire risk appetite gets consumed in that one move, and you can't stay in that high risk state forever. And that's why so many first generation immigrants work incredibly hard but still feel like they're only getting so far. It's not a failure, it's the cost of transition. I think ambition needs a mirror. Ambition never operates in isolation. It needs a mirror, something to reflect back on. Is this effort even meaningful? Is this progress real? Does this sacrifice make sense? Back home, that mirror is everywhere. You have family, you have community, people who know you, people who can see your effort. Even when things were stressful, your ambition felt understandable. Ambition had context, it was legible. You knew where you stood. Now, what breaks when you leave? Migration breaks that mirror, not dramatically, just slowly. Suddenly, your effort becomes harder to interpret. Your progress becomes invisible to the people who mattered. Your sacrifices, they don't have an audience anymore. You might actually be doing well, sometimes even better. But without context, ambition stops feeling like growth and it starts feeling like pressure. In between state is what I like to call it. You're no longer who you were, but you're not fully who you're becoming. Your old identity doesn't compound anymore. Your new identity hasn't stabilized yet. So you're functioning, you're doing the right things, but nothing feels anchored anymore. And this is where ambition starts to feel very urgent but directionless. Why do driven people feel this the most? If you're a driven person, this hits even harder. Because ambition doesn't turn off just because your environment changed. But without the reference points you grew up with, your ambition quietly recalibrates. It shifts from building to securing, from exploring to justifying, from growth to more stability. Not because your values changed, but because risk suddenly feels expensive. When safety nets disappear, ambition becomes more cautious. And different people respond very differently. Most people don't notice this shift happening. They respond instinctively. Some over identify with work because work is the only place that gives feedback. Some obsess over timelines. Where should I be by now? What am I failing behind on? And many people go quiet. Not because they're hiding, but because uncertainty is hard to explain when survival is on the line. I like to call this the frozen home effect. There's another part of migration we rarely talk about. Home keeps moving, but your memory of home does not. The place you left is frozen in your mind. The people you left behind keep evolving. Meanwhile, your new home doesn't fully feel like yours yet. You're not from anywhere completely anymore. And you're not from everywhere either. That limbo intensifies ambition but gives it no place to land. Now, people mistake this phase for failure. It isn't. It's just ambition without coordinates. Your effort keeps going, your orientation lags behind. And when you understand that, the question shifts from what's wrong with me to what context am I operating inside? And that changes everything. Ambition feels lighter when it's socially reinforced. It feels heavier when it has to justify itself alone. And you're in this in between space. You're not late, you're recalibrating. And that recalibration always feels like uncertainty before it feels like direction. I'll see you in the next one.